Hello, my name is Chimo Andy Zhang, and this is my DSARI project for BBE 12. I currently live at Udolph Hall, which was built in 2002 in a two-person, two-bedroom efficiency, which is basically two separate rooms sharing a bathroom. It is approximately 335 square feet, and it has central air. Moving on to the energy context, I compared it to a studio apartment, which ranges from 300 to 500 kilowatts monthly, or to about 3,600 to 6,000 kilowatts per year. Um, how I use electricity is primarily with lighting, cooking, refrigeration, heating, and providing power to my appliances. Then on my right are my average power and energy used by my devices. And so for my desk fan, it's about 0.009 kilowatts per 40 minutes. For my PS5, it's about 0.960 kilowatts per 6 hours. For my laptop charger, it's about 0.089 kilowatts per 7.5 hours, and just etc. And for my audit process, I decided to do it on my desk lamp, my microwave, my desk fan, my humidifier, my rice cooker, my PS5, my laptop charger, and my air fryer. And then on the bottom left, I kind of did a color coordination to show which devices are constant, variable, and which are recyclable. Um, I essentially kept track of my data with the use of sticky notes. And then from there, after a week of collecting data, I input that into a Google spreadsheet, and then I made sure to convert um, the times I collected into hours, and I rounded it to the hundredth just for convenience, and it's easier to work with. Moving on to quantifications, these are the formulas that I use to calculate my energy usage. So for my humidifier, it is a constant power device. So I got about 149.939 watts per day. For my light, I got about 113.04 watts per day. For my air fryer, I got 24.96 watts per day. And then for my rice cooker, about 26 watts per day. Um, and then talking about phantom energy, checking all of my devices, it seems like they don't have any, so I decided to not include it in here. But yeah. And this is my audit table. Um, as you can see, I've used the video that was provided through Canvas to calculate this, and so I basically just followed the video and made this. And yeah, and what I learned from the table earlier was that my biggest energy user was my humidifier, with it being the thing that run the longest. The second being my desk light, which I use to for studying at night, etc. Um, Surprisingly, I use my microwave, my desk fan the least. But it makes sense. I usually cook on the stove, and I don't really heat up old food. I usually just eat out as well. And then for my fan, I use it when it get hot, but it's been getting chillier, and so I haven't been using it as much. And then for energy comparison, on the left is my average personal energy usage per day, and on the right is what I found online. And it turns out that the typical daily energy usage is about four times as much as mine, and I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought I would use a lot, but turns out that maybe I'm using lesser than I thought. And ways to cut down my energy usage. I was gonna say to reduce the amount of time that I leave my light on, but winter is coming, the days are getting shorter, and so I'm gonna have to use my light more often now, just because of how it is. Instead, I think I could cut down my energy consumption for my humidifier by about 10% or 15 watts by using it only when I do assignments at night and turning it off before I sleep. There, before I used to just um, turn it on when I sleep, and when I wake up, I turn it off, but I'm kind of doing the opposite now. And then another way I could cut down my energy consumption is by just cutting down my game time in half, um, which should cut down my energy usage for it by 68.57 watts or by 50%. Yeah, this is my references. Thank you.